Few people are, I suppose, but I, Richard Beckett, have slightly more reason for my distaste of them than most. They are associated for me with an episode in my life of which I cannot think even now without a shiver. I've just come down from Oxford, and my great love of books had prompted me to work for a time, for my pleasure, in a small, exclusive London library.
I should like to inquire if I might take this book out. I believe I'm entitled to use this library. My card.
Eldred.
Mr. John. Eldred.
I shall be obliged to consult the register.
Oblige me by doing
I was just about to shut up shop. Hours, 10 till 5. Saturdays, 10 till 1. Closed on August, all during August. Then Beatles.
We are now late to September. The hour is 4:49. Please, thanks.
Yes, Eldred, John, recommendable. That is all the appearance of being shipshape and Bristol.
May I be of any assistance, sir?
Thank you, Mr.
Beckett, sir.
I wonder if you'll be kind enough to find this book for me.
Oh, yes, certainly, sir. That shouldn't be too difficult. Have a catalogue getting cheap, will you, Hudson? It is this particular edition you require.
That is no honor. I am exceedingly obliged to you.
Oh, don't mention it, I beg, sir. Yes, Hebrew section, that shouldn't be too difficult. Ah, yes, here we are. Talmud, Tractate, Middoth, with commentary of Nachmanides, Amsterdam, 1707. Jot this down, will you, Hudson? 11:334.
11:334. That'll be in gallery number 7, Mr. Beckett.
Correct, Hudson, the paleographic section. I won't keep you waiting on it, sir.
Eldred, John, Eldred.
Pleasure to make your acquaintance, sir.
Did you ever know such a musty smell anywhere as there's up here, Davis? The stench is worse than I ever knew it. It cannot be wholesome.
A naturally strong smell of dust.
Yes, it could be dust.
You know, I don't think it can be wholesome.
Let's see, Becky.
I'm sorry, I've got a gentleman waiting for a book.
The smell in this part of the library is noxious.
No.
I should advise the use of a pomander.
It's a pomander.
Yes, well, if you'll excuse me.
Oh, dear fellow, and welcome.
The place needs a good spring clean, I'd say.
Yes. Beckett, a good spring clean, eh?
Excuse me, sir. Excuse me, sir, but will you be taking that book out? Sir? I'm very sorry, sir, but someone else appears to be interested in your book.
Somebody else?
Yes, sir.
You are sure?
Yes, sir, so I'm taking the book myself, sir. Yes, sir. But it's possible you may just wish to refer to it and not take it out. If you care to wait a few moments, you'll be down. The library is clear, Rachel.
You didn't recognize him, I suppose.
No, sir.
How did he appear to you?
An old gentleman in a cloak, sir.
What?
An old gentleman wearing a cloak, sir.
Look.
Yes, sir.
Did he say anything to you?
No, sir.
No, of course not.
No, I tried to ask him if he was going to...
He didn't reply.
No,
No, he wouldn't.
Well, if you like, I can go up and ask him again, sir.
No, I thought he might have been. He might be staying, or that I might have known him.
Yes, sir. Well, he'll be down in a few moments. You can see for yourself.
No, I can't wait, thank you. I'll call again in the morning.
Not much change out of a farthing there.
I'm not very anxious to meet the gentleman upstairs either. I wonder why.
I've seen no gentleman in a black coat pass through here.
Well, he's up there at the moment, Hodgson, in Gallery 7. I saw him myself.
Oh, tell him it's time he was making tracks. Some people have got no homes to go to.
Hello, you're new here. Hello, Hodgson. Mr. Beckett here. Look, it appears that gentleman didn't want that book after all. He's gone. Did you see him leave?
No, sir, he must have slipped out without my noticing whilst I was busy.
Ah. By the way, there's a black cat up here. What on earth happened to Tabitha?
Here, right beside me, sir. The old beauty, aren't you, eh? That cat up there has no right to be there, sir. Chase it out if you wouldn't mind.
Right.
Oh, it's you. Oh, good morning, sir. The early bird, as the poet says. We shan't keep you incommoded long this time, sir.
Have you got the book?
Yes, sir, yes, sir. I'll get on the tube and see if Mr. Beckett's here yet, sir. Oh, ever come to you here at last.
Morning, Hodgson. Good morning. Oh, good morning, sir.
You got my book?
Oh, yes, it's just out there. I'll go and fetch it right away.
Morning,
Good morning, gentlemen.
Was it worth it? Half the night spent sampling the pleasures of the town and a thick head in the morning.
Yes, 1,000 times, yes.
Oh, you have an enviable constitution.
Morning,
Good
sir.
morning, sir.
Excuse me, sir.
Is it very far to this particular part of the library to which Mr. Beckett has gone?
Well, now, sir, I was thinking, sir, it was funny myself, sir. He's a quick man, as a rule.
I've been detained more than 20 minutes.
Yes, sir, well, not a word of a lie from the clock, sir. I'll speak up on the tube.
What has happened?
I don't know, really, sir. I found him lying on the floor of one of the galleries upstairs. I think he must have had some sort of a fit.
Was he alone?
Not there. Yes, sir.
There was no gentleman, perhaps, in a black coat up there.
No, sir. I'm sure, excuse me.
The doctor.
The young gentleman was attacked with an attack of illness, as you might say, sir. And now, sir, about your book.
I think I must forget the book for the time being, but I should like to avail myself of an opportunity to visit Mr. Beckett when he has recovered sufficiently and offer him my sympathy. There's no doubting in his condition he'll be ordered home. You can give me his address, I suppose.
No sooner said than done, sir. Here you are, sir. Very respectable lodgings, sir. I found them for him myself.
Oh, I'm obliged.
Thank you, sir. Who is it?
Oh, it's
Oh.
only Mr. Becky. I've a visitor outside insisting he's seen you.
Oh, who is it?
It's the same gentleman that called last night when you were in no fit condition to receive. Mr. Ellerfield.
Oh, yes, sure.
Are you sure you've the strength for it? You've not swallowed a mouthful of solids since they brought you home.
Please, shut up.
You can come in now, sir.
Oh,
Please, do not get up. Young man, I owe you an apology.
why did I owe you an apology, sir? I must have staring to pay it since I didn't know your address.
I've been lodging at my club at St. James's, but I returned home today.
Won't you be seated?
No, I'm not busy, thank you. Now, I have something to not You don't need a draught from the window?
No.
One never knows, does one, what might intrude. You'll excuse my asking, for I'm sure you had good advice, but was it a fall you had?
No, well, I did fall, certainly, but it was rather more of a shock.
Or something, you have delectable lodgings here. Something startled you.
Yes.
Oh, you have a delightful aspidistra here. Something you thought you saw.
There wasn't any thinking about it. I saw it.
Are you quite warm enough?
Yes, look, do you remember the time you first came to
I
the
should recall your domestic to make up the...
No, I would like to tell you.
I beg of you not to describe it. Something good you to remember.
No, I would like to discuss it with someone. You might be able to explain it away. It's just that when I went into that gallery where your book...
Not another word. No, I insist. No, you're not well.
No, please, I want to...
I see I have a little time left to get my things together and take the train. Now, before I go, there is just one other thing. The fact of the matter is, I have not had time to return to the library since you were taken ill. I wondered if you could give me the reference number of the book so that I might obtain it without any difficulty the next time.
Yes, certainly, sir. Where would I have it? Promise that I might take it off you on the road. Yes, sir. That's 11-3.
11-3-34. Thank you. Well, I hope you will soon be fully recovered. Now, if you'll excuse me, now, please do not get up. Time trial trains, to coin a phrase. Good day to you.
What are you doing here?
Saturday, dear boy. Hours 10 to 5, that's 10 to 1, closed in August. Then read the rules. We have the afternoon off. How are the collywobs?
Yes, well, I quite realize...
Not another word, dear boy. If you'd had half the night we had the night before, you'd have seen pink elephants.
Yes, I should say so.
Yes, well, the night before I went to a lecture.
Oh, that accounts for it.
Perhaps it was the smell in the place that gave you a turn.
I should try and forget about it. Well, it's not the sort of thing you can forget. There must be some reason for it.
All you need is a change of air.
Why should it happen to me?
Oh, come on, forget it. How? The librarian has positively ordered you to take a week's rest before returning to the library.
See, great finds. A change of air and you'll come back as fit as a fiddle.
I suggest a trip to the sea. I know a nice little place on the East Coast.
Thank you. I shall certainly get away as soon as I feel fit enough to travel.
That's the ticket.
The ticket. Oh, very good.
What?
Don't you see? Travel, the ticket.
One important mark. A first-class single to burst on season. A first-class single to burst so on season. Sorry, I feel a little startled. been feeling very well lately.
Well, if you may fancy, you will soon go away to Cobweb. I take it you are going to the seaside.
Yes.
In which resort do you intend to stop?
Best Sea.
Oh, is that so? Do you know it at all?
No, but it was very highly recommended to me by a colleague of mine.
I'm afraid you will find it very dull at this time of the year.
Excuse me. You feeling a little better now, sir?
Yes, thank you, much better.
Where do you intend to lodge?
I hadn't arranged anywhere. I dare say it should not be too difficult.
Well, now, I do not know if it is etiquette to mention it. Mr.
Beckett.
How do you do? I am Mrs. Simpson, and, oh, this is my daughter Alice.
How do you do?
We have been up in town for a few days. Well, now, as I said, I do not know if it is quite the thing to mention it, but it so happens that I have lodgings to let in Birthday.
Indeed?
Yes. Of course, I do not know if the accommodation available is suitable for your requirements, but if you would care to come and inspect it,
That would be most kind.
I think we should be able to make you feel at home and help to set you on your feet again.
Yes.
Well, as they say, it is an ill wind.
Morning, Hobson. I had a picture postcard from Mr. Beckett this morning.
The whole world has had a picture postcard from Mr. Beckett this morning. Dear. Mind to fix the bandstand. The poor chap's obviously not feeling very white yet. Must white to him, jog him along. Oh, and Hobson, a black cat has been prowling about upstairs in Gallery 7 and constantly getting under one's feet. Could you remove it? Cats don't agree with me, you know.
I will have it chased off, sir.
I had forgotten you could find such delightful shells on our beaches. But then I have really enjoyed looking for them so much before.
If you would care for me to mount some of my bots for you, as a memento of your visit.
Oh, yes. Thank you. I should like that. Here, if you hold one of these to your ear, you can hear your heart beating.
I can hear only the sea.
No, then you do. Come and sit down. It is Hannah's half day, so I have prepared supper myself. I hope it is to your liking.
Mr. Beckett is something of scientist, Mother.
Oh, really? Mr. Beckett? How interesting. That's fine. Something in the mathematics, perhaps?
No, Mrs. Simpson, not the mathematics. Not exactly the scientist either. I was just telling Miss Simpson that I'm a student of the odd, the unexplained.
Oh, indeed.
Yes, events which seem to justify no natural law, mysteries which are never solved. I like to examine them.
And as to mysteries, Mr. Beckett, my daughter and I have had our fair share of them.
So Miss Simpson was briefly telling me.
Alice, you should not have.
I just thought, Mama,
Second thoughts are best. You should not saddle our worries on Mr. Beckett's shoulders.
But please, Mrs. Simpson, if you think I can be of the least assistance, I beg you tell me your problem.
I am sure you do not want to be troubled with it.
No, please.
You will keep it to yourself if you don't mind. Yes, of course. Well, the light is very weak here in the sun.
Please.
Have you everything that you wish?
Yes, thank you. That's delicious. Please go on.
I had an uncle, a Dr. Rand. Possibly you may have heard of him. Not that he was a distinguished man in any way, but from the odd way in which he chose to be buried.
That's a grand.
horrid old man left instructions that he was to be placed in a brick room that he had built underground in a field near his home at Bradfield.
And was he buried in that way?
Turn up the gas, Alice dear. It is becoming inconvenient to see.
And was he buried in that way?
Yes. Sitting down in his everyday clothes.
And the plot in the field up above would have to be enclosed with iron railings.
Is this the best you can do with the gas, Alice dear?
Yes, Mama, it's full on.
I do not know.
Of course it is silly, but The country people in the district say that he is still to be seen about there.
You cannot credit such things. He has been dead and gone these 20 years.
What do you think about such things, Mr. Beckett?
Ah, well, I am not prepared entirely to discredit the patient. But please, Mrs. Simpson, go on with your story.
My uncle was a clergyman.
I am glad to say in his last years, though, he did no duty. I do not like to speak ill of the dead, but there is no doubt that he had taken to some form of unchristian practice. He lived in retirement on his estate not far from here. He had no wife, no family, except a niece, who was myself, and a nephew.
And he did not like either of these more accounts or anyone else as far as that goes.
Alice, dear, am I to tell the story or are you?
I beg your pardon, Mamma.
Granted.
But you have always told me that he was a horrid old man.
That will do, Alice. If anything, though, my uncle preferred my cousin to myself.
Yes, because from what you have told me, he was much more like a temper, a mean, sharp way.
Alice! It is so, though, I'm afraid. Things might have been different if I had not married.
You must be very glad you did.
Yes. But my uncle very much resented it.
Why was that?
He feared I would no longer be at his constant beck and call. He would not have me living in the manor house, but he expected me to make myself available to go there whenever at his bidding.
Selfish old beast.
He lived alone on his estate, with but a few servants.
And a large amount of money.
That is so. Of which he had the absolute disposal. Then, in a certain winter, he was taken ill, and I was sent for, as usual, to nurse him.
Vigilante et orate, watch and pray, Mary, watch and pray.
I do pray for you, Uncle.
John was here the other day. I've made my will in his favor, Mary. He gets everything.
You have the right to do as you wish with what is yours.
But I'm not very fond of John, Mary. In fact, I detest him.
He has never done you any harm.
If not for want of trying.
Come now.
He had been threatening me.
With what?
Blackmail.
Blackmail?
He threatened me, and I'm going to make him pay for it.
By leaving him everything?
Yes. A fortune he lived in constant fear of losing. It's a good punishment, don't you think?
I do not understand.
I've made a second will in your name. You can have everything.
That is most generous.
But wait. First, you've got to find the will. And I'm not going to tell you where it is.
And I cannot see what use it will be to me.
It's contained in something else. You've got to find it. I'm giving you both a clue.
Clue?
I'm going to tell John what the something is, but not where to find it. And I'm going to tell you where to find it, but not what it is. That way you'll start off on equal terms.
You're telling me all this to taunt me.
Not at all. I'm going to tell you now what I have not told John. When I'm gone, you'll find a letter in my desk, directed to you. Inside it is your clue, something that will help you to find the will. If only you've the wits to use it.
I do not know how I shall fare in the battle of wits with John.
Never fear. I shall not be far away.
I am getting tired. I must rest. And stop this nonsense.
You will see. I'll not be far away.
And a few hours after that, he was dead. And although I made many appeals to John regarding the will, he paid no attention whatsoever, and has enjoyed the estate ever since.
Whilst you...
After the death of my husband, who was by no means well off, I was compelled to open a lodging house. It has not always been as displeasing as I feared.
But Mrs. Simpson, if I may be permitted to ask, what happened to the letter that your uncle mentioned?
I never found it.
You mean it was not in the desk?
I searched every drawer and every desk in the house.
It does not make sense. who told you some stupid lie doesn't seem to me to fit in with your uncle's plan at all. Have you any way of knowing whether he kept faith with your cousin John?
It is my belief he did. Yes, I am sure he gave John his clue.
What makes you think?
Because John is not a happy man, despite the fact that he enjoys his faith. I am told he is constantly roaming the country, passing from town to town in, one might almost say, a feverish search.
For the wealth?
Yes, it must be so.
Which redoubles my certainty that in some strange way your uncle must also have kept his faith with you.
What makes you so certain, Mr. Beckett?
Because I'm sure that his aim was to set you up in competition one against the other. Let me see. Your clue was to be found in a drawer of his desk.
That is what he said.
Was any of the furniture sold after your uncle's death?
Oh, no. My cousin John prized it much too highly to part with a stick of it. He even resented the loss of those pieces which Dr. Rand had insisted should be buried with him.
I see. Did you say buried with him?
Yes, in the underground room. Dr. Rand insisted that it should be properly furnished, and that he was to be placed in it wearing his everyday clothes.
But how was this room to be furnished?
After the manner of his study.
Then there would be a desk in it.
Mamma, a desk!
Where would the desk have come from?
Yes, I understand it. My cousin John made all the arrangements, but I believe he chose pieces that have been locked away in the attics for years.
Mrs. Simpson, I'm convinced that that desk must hold the clue to your puzzle.
And the secret of it has gone to the grave.
Where exactly is this underground room located?
You in here? Oh, it's a message for you.
Oh, really? What's it say?
It's from Beckett. He's obviously still out of his mind. Imperative, you and Davis meet me, Bratfield Railway Station, midnight tonight.
He's not going to turn up, you know.
Trust Beckett.
I always told you he was off his head.
Well, it's only just midnight.
Well, what are we going to do if he never turns up? Where the devil are we going to stay at this time of night?
Just have to sleep in the waiting room, I suppose.
We should never have said we would come.
No, gentlemen. I'm locking up. I'm afraid I shall have to ask you to leave.
My dear good man, we are waiting for a friend.
Yes, sir, so you say, but there doesn't seem to be much sign of him, does there?
Oh, can't we sleep in your waiting room?
No, sir, that is against the regulations.
Then be the regulations.
The regulations strictly state that the waiting room and adjacent amenities shall only be used by passengers in transit. Good night, gentlemen.
Good night, station master. Well, of all the damn fixes, this takes on a beating.
Well, now what are we going to do?
Oh, you too, sorry.
Oh, don't mention it. We love railway stations.
Adore them.
Now, look here, Beckett, old chap. What's the game?
No time to explain now. I'll explain on the way.
On the way, where to?
The two!
Long past midnight, Mother. Go to bed. I am afraid I should never have agreed to let Mr. Beckett open the tomb. Who knows what may happen?
Don't worry, Mamma. Have faith in him.
We should never have told him.
I'm glad we did.
He must be nearly there by now.
Oh, my Beckett, I'm coming.
Oh, damn!
Just got the whole world to hear it.
The whole world is asleep except us.
Awful us.
Pretty peculiar place. Not do you really think we should go through with this?
I suppose it's too late to back out.
Yes. I do wish Beckett would tell us what's going on.
So do I.
Can't I just go breaking into another chap's tomb without so much as a buy your leave?
I suppose we'd better go through with it now.
Come give me a hand, I found it.
Hey, spooky here.
Mr. Beckett, do you really think we ought to do this?
I don't like it, old man.
Give me a hand.
It's shifting. I say, Davis, it's that smell, like in the library. What's down there?
I can't see a thing. It's like the Black Hole of Calcutta.
Well, here goes. Are you absolutely sure you want to go down there, old chap? Well, it's your field.
Already out.
But take it easy, old man.
Feels good enough. I'm sure he wouldn't like me to.
What's down there?
I can't see a thing. Trust me, the lantern.
Here you are. Beckett, what is it? What are you doing? I got the answer.
Good afternoon, gentlemen.
Morning, Watson.
Is it still morning? You surprise me. The head librarian was asking for you two.
Oh, Lord, we're for it. It's all Beckett's fault.
Yes, it must be. He'd been rather worried as to why two of his assistants had taken the morning off.
Well, what did you tell him, Watson?
Well, sir, not being fully acquainted with the true facts, I told him as how you were both on duty at the auction.
Hobson, you're a brick.
I wouldn't know about it. But if you are thinking of absenting yourselves in the future, perhaps you'd be good enough to let me know.
Well, of course, but we couldn't, you see. It was all rather last minute, don't you know?
And very secret.
I understand, but a little less high living and a little more application to duty would be more befitting young gentlemen in your positions, if you understand.
You're absolutely right, Watson.
Absolutely.
Come on, David, old man.
Did you say as how young Mr. Beckett was with you?
Mr. Beckett?
I was under the impression he was at the seaside.
Yes, well, he was, you see.
We thought we'd pop down and see him.
Really? Whatever for?
Well, it's funny you should ask that.
You see, he wouldn't tell us.
Really, gentlemen, I don't think I quite follow you.
Well, never mind, Watson. If it's any consolation, we're as much in the dark as you are.
I did not tell them any more than I absolutely had to. I did not feel it was right that anyone should read the letter before you did.
Thank you.
It does not make sense. Cinema? It does not make sense. It's just a number.
That's all?
Yes. 11334.
1133. 11, 3, 34. Mrs. Simpson, I think I am beginning to discern a pattern in all this. I do not think it was entirely coincidence which brought us together in that station waiting room. Answer me one question. What became of your uncle's collection of books?
Well, he disposed of them all before his death. They were donated to libraries throughout the country.
Your cousin's name is John Eldred, is it not?
Yes, but how...
Mrs. Simpson, I'm convinced that the answer to your problem lies within the pages of one of those books, the Tractate Middoth.
Regret to inform you, it appears that your late uncle's tomb has been disturbed. I am certain someone has entered the sacred ground. What action do you wish to take? Your advice would be greatly appreciated, your humble servant, Jackson. Jackson?
Yes, sir?
Pack my bag. I'm leaving for Bradfield immediately.
There you are, all shipshape and Bristol fashion. Now I want you to take this round to Green's Club in Savin Street. The gentleman was particularly anxious to have it delivered without delay. Mr. Beckett, sir, we wasn't expecting you back in harness till next week.
Yes, well, the fact of the matter is I had to return unexpectedly to visit my grandmother.
Was that Mr. Beckett?
Well, it's his grandmother.
Oh, she shows a remarkable turn of speed for an old lady.
What are you doing back here?
Looking for that confounded book.
Which confounded book?
The Tractate Middoth. Do you know where 11.334 can be?
Don't ask me.
That fool Earl must have put it back in the wrong place.
Beckett?
Yes?
About our little adventure the
Damn
other
it, someone
night.
must have taken it out. Who's got it?
Got what?
The Tractate Middoth, man!
Look, what will the Tractate Middoth? What was in that letter?
The answer to a fortune. It's not too late.
For goodness sake, what's exercising our young friend now?
Heaven knows, our little escapade is finally done for him.
Quite unstable, you know. I told you when he first came here, intellectuals are not to be relied on. Twags us all over the English countryside, pops us in and out of tools, makes us hours late for work, and has not got the common decency to tell us what it's all about.
Yes, he might have told us what it's all about.
I'm sorry, Your Reverence, it's all I can do. Rules are rules. Rules are rules, and that's a fact. Take them or leave them.
Do you know where book 11.334 is?
Mr. Beckett, sir, I am not the bard of memory.
Well, do you remember checking out the number?
Chetty, take a look at the numbers for yourself, sir. That is, if you have a free day before you.
Let's just see what you mean. Tell me, has Mr. John Eldred called at the library again since I was taken ill?
No, no, sir.
You're sure you remember?
If there's one gentleman I would remember, it would be Mr. Eldred. He gave me a shilling over and above the price of dispatching his parcel. I wish they all did.
You sent a parcel to Mr. Eldred?
When the secretary says the book may go, and the paper for the parceling arrives correctly addressed, with over and above a certain sum to cover the cost of delivery, what would you do in the matter, if I may take the liberty to ask?
Have you sent a book to Mr. Eldred?
Would you or would you not have taken the trouble to oblige, or would you have chucked the old thing under the counter?
No, you're perfectly right, of course. Now,
course.
tell me, when was this particular book dispatched?
This morning.
Only this morning?
Perfect.
To Bradfield Manor?
I never heard of it.
Mr. Eldred's home in the country.
Oh, no, sir.
Oh, where to then?
Is London Club.
Which is what?
Green, Savile Street.
Excuse me.
Oh, excuse me, sir. Can I be of any assistance?
Yes, could you tell me if Mr. John Eldred is in, please?
Mr. Eldred. No, I regret not. Mr. Eldred is out of town.
Are you sure?
Quite certain, sir. He left unexpectedly last night.
Could you tell me if a parcel was delivered for him here this morning, please?
Parcel, I do seem to recall, Eldred. Yes, that is right, sir.
Ah, well, you see, there's been a mistake. It's a valuable book which I'm anxious to recover. I wonder if you'd let me have it.
I'm afraid I can't do that, sir.
Oh, well, I am from the library where the book belongs.
That is as may be, but the parcel is no longer here.
But you said Mr. Eldred has not been in?
That is correct, sir, but he left instructions that the parcel was to be dispatched by passenger train to Bradfield in Suffolk.
On top of all that, Squire, the next morning, the whole village was abuzz with rumours.
What sort of rumours, Carter?
Usual sort of gossip, sir, but this time I were having a drink with station master, and he said as how 3 young men were seen hanging around.
At what time?
At about midnight, seemingly, sir. And after that, someone told him as though they'd seen a light shining from the same direction. So I thought, aha, I'd better take a look.
Quite right, quite right. No one said they'd seen mine.
No, sir, not a word of that. Then I don't give credit to no such tales.
Of course not.
You'll see what I mean, sir. It's obvious.
Yes, Carter, I do.
Someone's been trying to break in.
Or out, Carter.
No, sir. Never say such things.
Carter, open it.
No, sir.
Doors. Say, man. We must make sure that it is all right before we seal it up again forever.
I don't like it, sir. Truly I don't. It'll be tampering with the dead. No good will come of it.
Carter, how long have you worked for me?
15 years, sir.
As long as that.
Afternoon, Squire.
When's the next train due in from London?
Next train from London, let me see. The next train from London be due in at 5:04. A bar an accident, sir.
Accidents?
Or figure of speech, sir. We don't have no accidents on this line.
No, of course not. 5:04. 5:04. Quarter of an hour from now.
That's right, sir.
Is that your test?
No, sir. I don't know where it's come from. It's stalking the platform all afternoon, straight in from somewhere or other.
Get rid of the brute. It's no business here.
You say so, Squire.
I hope it won't be late.
Never been known to be, sir. You waiting for someone, sir?
Waiting for somebody? No, a parcel. I'm expecting a parcel.
Oh, I see.
Where the devil's that confounded train?
Well, coming in now, sir. There be the signal.
There's that damn clock again. I want to get rid of it.
Yes, sir. I'll attend to it as soon as I've counted my tickets. Here, what are you doing in my chrysanthemum? Come on, fella, me lad. I'll attend to you later. All tickets, please. Up there, Miss Later. Sure.
Bratfield Manor.
Here you are, sir. It's Square in order to get that parcel. Happened it was somewhat very precious.
Excuse me.
Just a minute, sir. You've not handed in your ticket.
Look, I must catch up with Squire Eldred.
You'll have your job cut out. He was just driven off in his pony and trapped helter-skelter.
Which way did he go?
Took the road back to the village.
The village?
Of course, you might cut him off if you was down the short way.
Yes.
Through the gate over there, along the side of the river till you come to the end of the lane. Turn right and follow straight through.
Thank you very much. I'm much obliged.
The old world's in a hurry today, it seems.
Last will and testament. I, Josiah Esmond Rat, of Bratfield Manor. have died, according to the doctors, of heart failure, and who am I to doubt them? But you will see now why I am not too fond of spiders, and why cats sometimes remind me of clergymen, and clergymen of cats.